Good morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock, which means it's time for our 75-minute power flow. So welcome if you're showing up live this morning. Thanks for meeting me on the mat. As you're getting ready for today's practice, feel free to grab any props that you typically use in your normal class. There aren't going to be any required props for any special poses today, but just whatever you normally use for your practice. And as we go through our practice today, because it is that 75 minutes, sometimes that extra 15 minutes does get to you, so feel free to drop down, take child's pose, or down dog as resting poses as you need. And we will get started seated on the mat today. So whatever that looks like for you, most likely a comfortable cross-legged seat. And just take a moment to set it up. Actively feeling those sits bones grounding into the mat evenly on both sides. So possibly grabbing a block or a blanket, pillow to make that happen. And then sitting up nice and tall, working to draw the shoulders back over the hips. Lengthening the crown of the head skyward. And then allowing the hands to rest on the tops of the knees, either palms face down, face up, possibly a combination of both. And then we'll close down the eyes. Working to arrive in the present moment. Finding that awareness of mind, body, and breath. Let's start checking in with the body this morning, noticing what it's saying, scanning all the way from the crown of the head down to the soles of the feet. Checking in with any spots that might be a little tense or a little tight this morning. And give yourself permission right now. If you find a spot that's a little tense, maybe stretch it out, shake it out. Just find some small movements to see if you can just start to settle in. And coming to stillness and center. Let's draw that attention to the breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. As you inhale, try to fill up completely. Notice as the collarbones lift towards the sky. And then exhale, emptying everything out. Inhale, filling yourself up. And exhale, soften. Inhaling, feeling a sense of lightness pulling you away from the mat as you sit up a little taller. And exhale, soften into your seat. A few more just like that. Last one. And coming back to a normal breath pace. Slowly, let's flutter the eyes open. Hands come down by your sides. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, sweep the hands down by your sides, bringing them behind you, 10 to fingertips. Inhale, lift the collarbones forward, draw the shoulders together on the back. As you exhale, begin to hinge from the hips, folding forward. Go ahead and round it out when you get there. Bring the gaze back in towards yourself. Inhale, halfway lift, bring the gaze forward, and we'll sweep that right arm all the way over to the left side of the mat. Keep the fold. Find a nice side body stretch here through the right ribs, all the way down into the right hip crease. Those left fingertips can stay tented, or maybe you walk them back behind you. Walking them over towards the right side of the mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, settle. Inhale, unwind and twist. Bring that right hand back behind you. And then sweep that left arm over to the right side of the mat. Reaching through the left fingertips, press out through the left hip. Try to keep that nice deep fold. If you notice that left shoulder popping up, try to draw down towards the mat. Inhale. And exhale, settle. Inhale, unwind and twist, drawing yourself back to center. Inhale, draws you up. Exhale, hands pass through at center. Let's go ahead and extend that left leg long, bringing the right foot to the left inner thigh, coming to a seated figure four. Facing the left leg, draw the left toes towards the face. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, begin to fold, sending the base of the rib cage down towards the left thigh. If that's not an issue for you, then maybe you bring the forearms to the mat, allowing the elbows to hug the calf. And last option, maybe you start to work the chin towards the shin. Crown of the head still reaching towards the top of your foot. Slowly rolling all the way back up to seated. Sweep that right arm back behind you, tent the fingertips, and then sweep the hips up towards the sky. Open up. Taking a nice front body stretch here. Drive the hips forward. Exhale, lower back down to that seated figure four. And we'll switch sides. Right leg extends. Sole of the left foot to the right inner thigh. Turn your upper body to face the right leg. Inhale, arms up. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Going to whatever your depth looks like this morning. And try to close that gap between the belly and the thigh. That's our first priority. See if you can send some of your breath to the low back space, finding additional length. And then slowly rolling all the way up. Sweep that left arm up and back behind you, fingertips plant to the earth. Inhale, lift the hips, taking a nice front body stretch here. This time breathing into the front body. And then exhale, hips back to the earth. From here, let's sweep those legs around to the side. Come into hands and knees, tabletop pose. Fingers spread nice and wide, shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. Finding our cats and cows, inhale, drop the belly, tilt the crown of the head up, tilt the tailbone up, and exhale, round it out, spread those shoulder blades towards the sky. Inhale, belly drops, gazing forward. And exhale, rounding up. Back and forth with your own breath pace. A few more just like that. One more. And then we'll make our way back to hands and knees, tabletop pose. From here, Let's root through those fingertips and through the base knuckles. Tuck the toes under and lift the knees to hover. So just an inch or two above the mat. Shift the weight into the left toes. We'll reach that right leg back. As you exhale, curl right knee to the nose. Inhale, extend it long. Exhale, knee to nose. Keep that left knee hovering. Inhale, extend. Knee to nose. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend it back. Lower that left knee down. And let's open up towards the right side of the mat as you kickstand that left leg out. Coming into a modified half moon. Slowly start to open the heart, open the front side of the hips, maybe bend that right knee and reach back for the top of the foot or ankle, finding a modified Shavasana pose. Drive the hips towards the right side of your mat, open the heart, and then slowly release, bringing everything back down to center, finding your tabletop pose. And again, recentering here, shifting the weight into the fingertips and base knuckles, tuck those toes under, and we'll lift the knees to hover again. This time, that left leg reaches back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it long. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lengthen. 2 more. Curl. Reach. Last one, curl. Reach it long. Settle that right knee down. Kickstand the leg as you open up towards the left side of your mat. Coming into your supported half moon pose. Stay here or start to broaden the collarbones, taking a slight back bend as you reach back for the left foot. Tuck those hips underneath the body. Push them towards the left side of your mat. And then slowly releasing, coming back down to our tabletop, hands and knees. Coming back to cats and cows, maybe adding on some movements here like wagging the tail from side to side, or possibly taking barrel rolls. Or just stick with your regular cats and cows. Whatever you feel like this morning. And then as you're ready, we'll meet back at hands and knees, tuck the toes under, and lift those hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Continuing to find those movements that satisfy your body this morning. Opening up here, waking up the back side of the body. And then we'll find stillness and center. Press those hands down and forward. Lift the tailbone up towards the sky. And send the heels down towards the earth. Try to keep the back sides of the legs as long as you can early on here. Inhale, lift the gaze forward. As you exhale, one footprint at a time, will bring you up to your forward fold at the top of the mat. As you inhale, finding your halfway lift, find that length. And then as you exhale, maybe bending into the knees, softening here. Grabbing opposite elbows, picture framing the face, and let's sway in our ragdoll. Of course, swaying is only an option. You can feel free to remain in stillness here, just allowing gravity to take hold. As your body invites you to, maybe you begin to extend the legs. And just like we did in our seated fold, work to keep the belly and the ribs glued to the thighs. Keep reaching the crown of the head towards the earth. And then slowly bring your hands down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, bend the knees, rising all the way up to standing. Inhale, circle sweep. Exhale, thumbs, heart center, samasthiti. Inhale, rise up, reach up. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back, first plank of the practice. So making sure the weight is primarily in the thumb and the first finger. Wrap those triceps back. Shoulders over the wrists. Belly's engaged, shift forward, lower halfway down, pause here. Making sure that the shoulders don't dip below the elbows. Flip the feet, take your back bend. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the gaze forward, walking, stepping, or hopping all the way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let it go. Earth to sky, root to rise all the way up. And exhale sends you right back down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands plant, stepping or hopping back. Again, we'll shift forward, lower halfway down. Pause here, hug those elbows in. Flip the feet, take your back bend. And meet in downward facing dog. One more sun salutation here, gazing forward. Walk, step, hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let it go. Earth to sky, root to rise. And exhale, send it right back down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step or hop it back, and go through your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, let's reach that left leg up and back. Send the right heel down towards the earth. Point those left toes towards the sky. Exhale, step it all the way through. Lower down onto the back knee. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Low lunge. Draw the left hip back in space. Sink the right hip down and forward. Exhale, hands down inside that left foot. Pick up the back knee. Turn yourself to face the right edge of the mat. Bend that left knee again and find your surfer's lunge. Right toes rotate towards the sky. Settle the hips down, lift the crown of the head, inhale. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Extend both legs. Find a nice wide-legged fold here. Maybe the toes are slightly in, heels out. Reach the crown of the head towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk yourself back to runner's lunge, facing the back of the mat. Inhale, lift the collarbones, feel a nice stretch on the left hip flexor. Exhale, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Earth to sky all the way up. Exhale, right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. And then we'll step the right foot all the way back. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. So left toes are forward. Lift up on that right kneecap. Lengthen through the upper body. Exhale, hands to mat, stepping back to plank, and go through your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. We'll inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Pause here, send the left heel down. Keep the arms nice and strong and straight, right toes reach up. Exhale, step it through. Lower down onto the left knee. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Sink the hips down and forward. Try to keep them square with the back of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, hands down inside that right foot. Pick the back knee up. Turn yourself to face the right edge of your mat and sink into your Skandasana towards the back. Right knee bends, left leg as straight as it can be, toes pointing up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, finding that wide-legged fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, runner's lunge towards the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the collarbones forward, sink the hips. Exhale, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Earth to sky, rise up, reach up. Exhale, right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Lift that back knee. Try to knit the ribs together on the front side of the body. Exhale, hands to earth, stepping back to plank, and go through your flow. We'll do that same flow one more time, just to continue warming up the muscles. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step it all the way through. Lower down to the back knee, rise up, reach up, sink the hips forward and down. Exhale, hands to the inside of the left foot. Find your skandasana towards the right side of your mat. Deep bend in that left knee. Right toes rotate up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Find that side wide fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, runner's lunge to the back. Inhale, lengthen the collarbones, lengthen the left hip flexor. Exhale, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Earth to sky, root to rise. Maybe a back bend at the top this time. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping right foot back. Rise up, crescent lunge. Left hip draws back in space. Nice and strong foundation through the legs. Exhale, hands to mat, stepping back to plank, and go through your flow. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Exhale, step it all the way through. Lower down on the left knee. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Inhale. Exhale, hands down inside the right foot. Pivot all 10 toes to face the right edge of your mat as you find your skandasana. Tailbone down, crown of the head up. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Lengthen both legs and fold. See if you can pick those sits bones up towards the sky. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, runner's lunge, top of the mat. Inhale, broaden the collarbones. Find some space on that right hip flexor. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Earth to sky, root to rise. Exhale, right back down. Halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, hands down, left foot goes back. Inhale, rising up. Find your crescent. Nice and strong here. Lift through the upper body. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back to plank and go through your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Last piece of our warm-up, gazing forward. Walk, step, hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, earth to sky, rising up, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart center. It's been a minute since we've done some yoga burpees, so let's bring those feet about hip distance apart. And then we'll bend the knees, sink the hips, find our chair pose. Send the hips back and down, maybe lifting up on the toes. This is our inhale. We're going to add a little twist today. So inhale, chair. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop back to plank. Pick that right foot up, cross right knee to left elbow, step it back, and then same thing with the left side, left knee, left elbow, cross, back to plank, shift forward, lower down, push straight back up, and then step or hop it forward, meeting back in chair. So that's one. Let's go 4 or 5. Inhale, exhale, hands down, step or hop back. Pick that right leg up, cross it under, step it back. Left leg crosses under, step it back, shift forward, lower halfway down, straight back up, step or hop forward, rise up chair. 2, inhale, exhale, hands down, step or hop. Pick that right leg up, cross it under, step it back, left leg crosses, step it back, jump forward. Oops, I forgot the push up that time. If you remembered it, go ahead and take it. Inhale, exhale, hands down, step or hop back, cross right leg, cross left leg, push up, and then step or hop forward. Inhale, rise up. Last one, exhale, hands to mat, step or hop back, cross it under, take your push up, and then hop or step forward, rise up chair. Inhale, root to rise. Again, maybe a back bend at the top. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step or hop back, and go through your flow. Inhale that right leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. As always, let's try to even out the weight through the hands. Lift that right knee skyward. Maybe take a couple of circles here, opening up the hip and knee. And then reverse. Inhale, open up, dancing warrior. Exhale, let's step it through. Back foot spins down at an angle, finding warrior one. Draw that right hip back as you send the left hip forward. Reach the arms up. Try to send the weight straight down into the front heel. And lift the back of the heart forward. Inhale, find that length through the upper body. Exhale, hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, lift the heart. Let's pivot the shoulders to the corner of your mat towards the left side. And then slowly start to hinge and fold. So just creating a little space here, starting with the hips sticking out so that you can settle the right ribs inside the right thigh. And then draw the right knee towards the right shoulder and tuck those hips back underneath the body. Bringing yourself back towards the top of the mat. Hands can stay at the low back, or maybe they're reaching up towards the sky. Slowly, with control, let's go ahead and press rewind, lifting all the way back up. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the hips. Extend that front leg. Draw that right hip back even more. And then pick the hips up and tilt them forward, spilling forward, finding your pyramid pose. Pause halfway. Nice long spine. Open the heart towards the top of your mat. And then slowly begin to fold, working to close the gap between the ribs and the thigh. Folding here. Inhale, halfway lift. And we're going to kick that right hip out to the right side of the mat, curling it towards the shoulder. Exhale, lengthen it towards the back of your mat. Curl it up and draw it back. Curl it up, draw it back. Last one, curl. Draw it back. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Slight bend in the front knee, walk the hands forward, finding a supported warrior three. Fingertips on the mat, on a block for support. Maybe you interlace the hands and bring them to the thigh. Whatever feels best for you. Square that left hip down to meet the right. Lift the gaze down but forward. This is our inhale. As you exhale, bend the left knee, cross it behind the right leg, curtsy. Try to sink the hips as low as you can. Inhale, lengthen that left leg back. Exhale, curtsy. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, curtsy. Few more. As you inhale, find that length. Exhale, curl into yourself. Inhale, extend. And exhale, curl. Last one, extend. This time as you curl, step that left foot outside the right, pinky toes come to touch. Take a cross-legged fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Slowly, root to rise all the way up to standing. Interlacing fingers overhead. Let's reach up and take a side body stretch over to the left side of your mat. Inhale, center. Exhale, bending over to the right. Pause here. Root down through that right leg and uncross the left leg, opening it out towards the left side of your mat, coming into your falling star. Nice diagonal line of energy from the fingertips out through that left foot. Slowly standing back upright, left knee into the chest, and then exhale, sink it down one-legged chair. Left ankle hooks above the right knee. Keep that left foot flexed. Send the hips back and down. Heart stays open. Send the left knee down towards the mat. You can stay here. Maybe you start to work the elbows towards the shin. Maybe you airplane the arms, bringing the heart down towards the shin. Your choice. And let's make our way back to hands at heart center. Slowly uncross that left leg. Step it all the way back. Sweep the arms forward, finding a nice diagonal line of energy from fingertips out through that back heel this time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to earth. Step it back. And go through your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Maybe you begin making circles in one direction. And then go ahead and reverse. Inhale, open up, dancing warrior. Exhale, step it all the way through, rising up, warrior one. So just that back foot as needed, left hip back, right hip forward. Lift up on those front toes and allow them to settle down. Keep pressing out through that back leg, nice and strong. Inhale, try to lift some of that weight out of the low back. Exhale, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, lift the heart. Pivot the shoulders to face the corner of your mat. And then as you exhale, begin to hinge and fold. Settling the ribs inside the left leg. Now, tuck the hip back in and work left knee and shoulder towards one another. If you have the balance for it, maybe the gaze goes towards that back foot. Slowly pressing rewind, rise all the way back up. Sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to the hips. Extend that front leg. Draw the left hip back even more. And then begin to tilt the sits bones up and back as you spill the hips forward. Pause halfway. Feeling that intensity on the left hamstring. Keep the shoulders drawn back. We're not trying to curl here. Lift yourself up. And now go ahead and slowly fold. Hands come down to the earth or to blocks. Inhale, halfway lift, find that nice flat back. As you exhale, curl left hip towards left shoulder. And then inhale, draw it back and in. Exhale, tilt the hip and shoulder towards one another. And then draw it back. So finding like a little C curve through the left side of the body, and then extending it long. 2 more, kick it out, spiral it back, kick it out, spiral it back, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, slight bend in that front knee. Walk the hands forward, find your supported warrior 3. Start with that right hip closing off, opening the heart towards the top of your mat. Nice and long through the spine. This will be our inhale, exhale, curtsy. Left knee comes outside the left calf or ankle. Try to sink the hips as low as you can. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, sink the hips, curtsy. Pressing through the left foot, rise up, supported warrior 3. Few more just like that, curtsy. And extend, curl it in, extend it back. 1 more. Curl it in, extend it back, and this time, cross the legs, pinky toes come to touch, take a cross-legged fold at the top of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift, and then slowly reverse swan dive, rise all the way up, interlace the fingers, inhale, reach up, side bend over to the right, and then over to the left. Keeping that bend to the left, let's unhook the right leg. Sweep it out towards the right side of your mat. Coming into your falling star. nice and long through the sides of the body. Inhale to center, right knee to chest. And then exhale, cross, right ankle above the left knee. Sink down into your one-legged chair. Reach the hips back and down in space. Try to keep that length through the spine. Lift the heart forward. Maybe bringing elbows to the shin. Still keeping a long spine here though. Draw the heart forward. Or maybe airplane. Working heart towards the shin. Slowly pressing rewind, hands come back to center. And then we'll unhook the right leg, step it all the way back. Sweep the arms forward, finding a nice diagonal crescent. Left hip drawing back, keep lifting through the right knee. Inhale, rising all the way up. And exhale, hands down to the earth. Stepping back to plank, and go through your flow. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back, bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. So, stay here or begin to ground through the right hand, through the left foot, and then maybe come up onto the fingertips of the left hand. Maybe you start to inch those left fingertips towards the back of your mat. Maybe you find the balance to lift that left arm up by your side. Just playing with the balance here. And then replace that hand. Open up, find your wild thing. Right toes tap to the mat behind the left leg. Lift the heart. Drive those hips skyward using the glutes. Exhale, right hand comes back down. Right leg lifts back up. And then exhale, we'll step it through. Rising back up to our warrior one. Starting to feel some openness through those hips. Inhale. Exhale, find warrior two, back foot spins down all the way. Making sure you're opening up that front inner thigh. Tuck the hips underneath the body. Lift up on the back kneecap. Slowly bring the fingertips to the back of the head. So opening the collarbones up towards the left side of the mat. This is our inhale. As you exhale, work to tap right elbow towards the right knee. Notice as that right hamstring draws back in space. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, crunching through the right side body, expanding through the left. Inhale. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Lift, crunching, lifting, last one, crunch. As you rise up, right hand sweeps to the base of the neck, reverse. Left hand goes where you need it. Work to reach that right elbow skyward, supporting the neck here. Nice stretch through the right side of the body. Inhale. As you exhale, extend the front leg, find triangle pose. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up. Work to kick that left hip back in space. Sides of the body remain nice and long. Keep lifting up on the back kneecap. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel hands down to frame that front foot. We're going to send that right leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Slowly gazing forward, and we'll lower down to the forearms, coming into our three-legged dolphin. Try to keep that right leg lifted if you can. Press the forehead away from the mat. So same as in our plank pose, we're spreading those shoulder blades towards the sky. One more breath, lift those right toes a little higher. Gaze forward, pressing through the hands, coming back to your three-legged dog. Shift it forward, three-legged plank. Put the foot down or flow with the leg lifted. And we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. As you inhale, left leg up and back, bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. And again, we're gonna pause here. So the more you can get that right heel down to the mat, the stronger your foundation will be. You can stay here if you want. Maybe you tent those right fingertips. Maybe you work the right hand towards the back of your mat. Maybe you reach that right arm up by your side. Slowly planting right hand down. Open the hips up even more. Find your wild thing. Left toes tap to the mat. Lift the heart. Nice and long through the right leg. Exhale, left hand down to the mat. Left leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward. Rise up, warrior one. And again, finding this pose. We've been here before, so the movement should be a little bit more natural this time. Settle into that front knee bend. Inhale, exhale, open out, warrior two. Spin that back foot down. Take a moment to set it up. We're not always going to land perfectly in the pose every time. Tuck those hips. Open the collarbones. Settle into the front knee bend. And then bring hands to the back of the head. This is our inhale. Exhale. Left elbow towards the left knee. So notice I'm crunching into the left side, broadening through the right. I'm not rounding down towards the mat. Stay nice and open. Inhale, center. Exhale, curl. Center. Exhale, let it all out. Curl. Inhale, up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Allow the left hand to sweep down to the back of the neck as you rise up. Reverse. Maybe you lift that gaze towards the sky. Find that space through the left side body. Inhale, rise up, undo the arms, send the hips back as you fall into triangle. Retuck those hips if they're reaching out towards the left side of your mat. Try to lift that left shoulder towards the top of the mat, creating length through the left side of the body. One more breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down to the mat. Let's lift that left leg up and back, three-legged dog. From here, gazing forward. Exhale, lower down to the forearms. So try to wrap those triceps back and lower the elbows down so they're in line with the wrists. Coming into our three-legged dolphin. Again, if your head wants to come down to the mat, push it away. Nice and strong through the upper back and shoulders. Keep lifting through the left toes. You got this, a few more breaths. Slowly gazing forward, pressing into the hands, find three-legged dog, shifting forward, and go through your flow. Meeting back in downward facing dog. As you inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow shifted forward. Inhale, up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, cross it under, tap left elbow. Extend that right leg, but stay up on the toes of the back foot. Maybe you inch that back leg back and sink the hips towards the earth, finding an IT band stretch here. So not opening up into our full fallen triangle, just stretching the outer right hip, lifting the heart. Slowly pick the hips up. Draw that right knee into the chest. Send it up and back. And then exhale, we'll step it all the way through. Rise up, warrior two. Bring that back foot back down, parallel to the edge of the mat. Settle in here. Feeling the nice openness through the hips. Inhale. As you exhale, left hand sweeps by your side. Reaching up and forward, find crescent lunge. Exhale, hands pass through heart center. Twist open towards the right side of your mat. If your stance is a little wide, you might need to inch that back foot up and in. Keep the back leg nice and active though. Reaching skyward. Trying to find some lightness through the left side of the body. Because as we inhale, that right arm is going to lead us up, revolved reverse crescent. Right hand comes down the back leg, left arm reaches skyward. And as you exhale, this time we're going to tap left elbow to right knee. Inhale, rise up, revolve reverse. Exhale, left elbow taps. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, tap, keep that back leg strong. Inhale. Exhale, tap. One more, inhale. Exhale, tap. Coming back to your prayer twist. So seeing if you can create some depth here by opening up that left side of the body. Gazing up or gazing down. Slowly rising all the way back up through center, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the earth. Lift that right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Walk the hands towards the left leg. As you arrive at standing splits towards the back of your mat. Feel free to bind left hand to left ankle. And if you bound, slowly come undone. Inhale, halfway lift. Square that right hip with the left. Exhale, right knee into the chest. Rise up, find your stork. And from here, we'll cross the right leg entirely over the left. First, finding our eagle legs. So sink in for a deepening in this pose. And if you'd like to find the arms, left arm comes on top of the right. Draw the shoulders over the hips. Find your balance. And stay here, or exhale, crunch elbows and knees together. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, curl it in. Hollow out the belly. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Slowly uncross the legs, right knee into the chest, and then send that right leg behind, finding warrior three with eagle arms. Send the forearms down towards the mat as you gaze towards the top of your mat. Reverse, right knee into the chest. Extend the right leg forward. Slowly step it down towards the middle of your mat. Unwind the arms. And from here, we're going to cross them eagle style in the other direction, right arm on top. Hinge forward, left leg lifts. Warrior three with eagle arms. Draw that left hip down. Left foot nice and active. Slowly unwind the arms. Right hand comes out. Left arm goes up, opening up into your half moon pose. Try to lengthen through the right leg. Lengthen through the sides of the body. Arms at a T. Hips stacked under. One more breath. And then slowly crumpling down to the mat, taking a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, find your chair pose. See if you can settle the hips down a little bit more. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step or hop back, and go through your flow. meeting in downward facing dog. Left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, cross it under. Pause here, extend the left leg. Inch those right toes back. Toes still pointing forward. Sink the hips down and forward. Lift the heart. Finding a nice stretch here through the outer left hip. If you don't feel it, draw that left hip back in space. One more breath. Hug the inner thighs. And then exhale, left knee to the chest. Sweep it up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping all the way through. Back foot spins down. Rise up, warrior two. Opening towards the right side of your mat. Taking a moment to settle in. Deep breath in. Exhale, right hand by your side. Rolling up onto the back toes. Find crescent. Exhale, hands pass through heart center. Twist to the left. This time, lightness through the right side of the body. A little space between the right ribs and the left thigh. And then that left arm's going to lead you up. Revolved reverse crescent, right arm sweeps skyward. As you exhale, right elbow taps to left knee. Inhale, sweep it back up. Lengthen through the right hip flexor. Exhale, tap. Crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach. One more, tap. And hold. Re-deepen into your twist. Inhale, rising up through center, find that crescent lunge. And exhale, hands to the earth. Left leg reaches up and back. Three-legged dog. Begin to walk the hands towards the back of your mat. One hand print at a time. Find your standing splits. Bind or not, your choice. Keep those left toes active. If you bound, come undone. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, square the hips. Draw the left knee into the chest. Preparing for our eagle pose on this side. Find that balance. And then we'll cross left leg over the right. Settle into the knee bend. Bind, double bind, whatever feels right. And then come into your arms, right arm on top. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Inhale. Exhale. Curling elbows and knees. Inhale. Rise up. Exhale, curl. Hollow out the belly. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, rising up. Slowly uncross the left leg. Come back to stork. And then hinge forward. As the left leg goes back, find warrior three. Draw that right hip crease back in space. Lift the belly up and in. Rewind, knee back into the chest. Extend the left leg forward, step it down. And then slowly tilting forward, or undo the arms first. And we'll reverse the arms. Left arm on top, eagle arms, then tilting forward, right leg comes up and back. Square that right hip down. Lengthen through the crown. Slowly unwind the arms. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up. Find your half moon pose. Spread the left inner thigh towards the right edge of your mat. See if you can find a little bit more length here. Push it out and away. And then exhale, crumpling down to the mat. Take your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, find chair pose. Feel free to stay here or sink the hips all the way down. Bringing the hands down to the mat, knees to the backs of the triceps or hugging the arm bones together as you shift the weight forward. Chaturanga the arms and find your crow pose. A little challenge, if you like, cross the ankles, one direction and then the other. And when you're ready, coming back down, plant the feet wide, toes out, heels in. Find your yogi squat. Maybe a little wiggle from side to side, making some figure eights with the hips. And then settling in. Sink the tailbone, lift the crown. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step rocks back and go through your flow. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Gazing forward. This time, we're going to gaze forward, lower down to the forearms again. Remember to wrap the triceps back and then lower the elbows down. And from here, this is our inhale, pressing away from the mat. As you exhale, draw the nose towards the thumbs. Push it back. Exhale, nose to thumbs. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward and back. Few more. Forward, back, making those arms work for it. Last 3, 2, last 1. Meeting back in dolphin. Slowly lower knees down. Sweep the arms by your side or clasping hands underneath the sits bones, coming into your seat pose. Giving the body a moment to rebound here. Come back to the breath. As you're ready, pressing yourself up so that the hips stay on the heels. Now this will be optional. We're coming back to that dolphin pose. We'll play around with our three-legged dolphin. We'll play around with a little bit of hopping as well. If you're not comfortable with the hops or it's something you've never done before, maybe don't try it right now or possibly go set up near the wall. We're gonna come back down to the forearms. So if you noticed in our dolphin before that your arms were starting to go like this, then go ahead and bring your hands together because we want to keep the elbows underneath the shoulders. We don't want them splaying out to the sides. If your forearms were fine, elbows were in line with the shoulders, then feel free to go back there. A lot of people find hands at center a little bit more comfortable to start. So from here, coming to the forearms, let's go ahead and spread those shoulders towards the sky to start, almost coming into a cat pose through the upper back. We'll tuck the toes under and lift the hips up. So let's walk the toes as close to the face as you can, and we'll lift the left leg up. Weight going straight down into the forearms, and you can stay here, or maybe you play with a little bit of light hopping, and I mean just like an inch or two. Getting a little bit of air. And then slowly lower left foot down, and we'll switch to the right. You can stay here, or if you'd like, find a little bit of light hopping. And when your shoulders are tired, bringing both feet back down. And one more time, coming back into that seat pose. As you come back to the breath, pushing yourself back up to seated, sweep the legs off to one side. Bring the feet down, knees up in front of you. We're going to send the fingertips behind, leaning some of the weight back. Draw the shoulders together. Crossing right ankle just above the left knee. Stay here, keep that right foot flexed. Or maybe you begin to inch the left foot in towards the body. So coming into a seated pigeon pose, lift the heart forward, draw the shoulders back, so that you can feel a nice stretch on the outer side of that right hip. If you're rounding into the belly, you're probably not feeling it, so try to lift the heart forward. As your body invites you to, maybe you deepen, bringing the heart closer towards the shin. One more breath. And then slowly allow that right foot in the outer edge of the left leg to come down all the way to the left side of your mat. Sit up nice and tall here. Bring that right hip down so it's resting on the mat comfortably. Right hand stays behind you, left arm reaches up, and then exhale, hook left elbow outside of right thigh. Sit up nice and tall. So yes, you're probably a little bit off the mat, and that's okay. Find a comfortable seated twist here. And if hooking the elbows too much, you can always hug the thigh in using your left arm. Draw the belly in towards the spine. And then slowly unwind and twist, bringing the hands back behind you, bringing your legs back through center, and then we'll uncross and switch to the other side. Start with the legs a little bit further away from the upper body, draw the shoulders together, and then left ankle crosses just above the right knee. Send the left knee forward. And if that feels okay, then play around with drawing the right leg in. Send that left hip away from you. As we settle into this pose, typically that means sinking in. So relift if you've sunken. One more breath. And then slowly releasing sole of the left foot and the outer right thigh all the way down to the mat. That left hip's going to roll up, so let's settle it back down. Sitting up nice and tall here. Left hand comes back behind you if it's moved. And we'll inhale up through the right arm, right side body. Exhale, hooking right elbow outside of the left thigh. Or again, hugging in using the forearm. Find a lift through the upper body, reaching the crown of the head skyward. One more breath in and out. Inhale, unwind and twist. Bring the legs back to center. And then we'll plant the feet down wide. And windshield wiper the legs slowly from side to side. So bring the left thigh down, pause here, send the left hip forward. And then inhale back to center. Bring that right thigh down, creating separation between the knee and the shoulder. Back to center. And then one more each side. Center and right. Center. Now if you'd like to go a little faster, feel free. Meeting back and center when you're nice and even. And slowly lower all the way down onto our spines. Allow the heels to drift in towards the sits bones. Arms come down by your sides. Setting up for our bridge pose. Pressing down into the feet. Walk those shoulders underneath the back and then lift the hips up. Instead of sending the heels down into the mat and then forward, imagine drawing them towards the shoulders to lift the hips a little higher. Work to puff the heart towards the chin. And then lowering down, upper back, middle back, lower back, sacrum. Pausing here. And coming into one more back bend of your choice. So possibly coming back to that bridge pose, or maybe pressing up into a variation, maybe even into your full wheel. As you're ready, making your choice, making sure that the feet aren't in line with the hips. And as you're ready, pressing yourself up into that back bend. Play around here if you'd like, maybe find some movement. One more breath. And as you're ready, slowly coming out, bringing hips back down to the mat, and finding the low back release that best suits you today. Maybe that's Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees wide. Maybe that's feet wide, knees knocking together. Or maybe that's hugging the knees into the chest and giving yourself a squeeze. And as you're ready, bringing those arms out to a T. Hugging the knees into the chest. And then just allowing them to fall over towards the left side of your mat. Trying to keep them high up towards that left arm. Right shoulder stays plugged into the mat. Maybe you use that left hand to help you draw the thighs together. Creating a little bit more length through the sides of the body. Just finding an overall sense of relaxation through the lower body. Start by bringing the arms back out to a T, bringing the gaze to center, and then slowly drawing the knees back in. Recenter yourself if you need to. Hug the knees back in towards the chest, and then allow them to rock over towards the other side of your mat. Root through the left shoulder. Maybe use that right hand to assist you here as you gaze off to the left side of your mat. Bring that right arm back out to the side. Gaze comes back to center. And then we'll allow the legs to come back as well. Recentering ourselves on the mat. Maybe giving yourself a little hug or rock from side to side. Maybe you circle the knees away from each other and then together. And then reverse. And as you're ready, bringing the feet down to the mat, extending the legs long, and allowing yourself up, allowing yourself to take in all of the energy that we've created as you set up for your final pose. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out as you arrive in Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen the breath as you reawaken the body, creating small movements, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles. And then allow those movements to become larger. You're lengthening out the full extent of your mat, taking a nice long body stretch. And then hugging knees into the chest. And rolling over to your favorite side. Making your way up to seated on the mat. tall, coming back to where it all began. Hands come down by your sides as you inhale, circle sweep the arms up overhead. As you exhale, press the breath out and away. Inhale, rising up, reaching up. And exhale, let it go. One more deep breath in from earth to sky. Breathing in the energy and vitality we've created. Drag it home to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Taking this energy out into the world and sharing it with everyone you meet. Honoring the light inside and teacher in us all. From my heart to yours. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this morning's practice. And if you are one of my weekend warriors, I will see you tomorrow. I will see you Monday, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye, guys.